Two, two, two. Check one, check two. Okay, we're live. How's it going, YouTube? I trust you all well. Tony Brown here with another Akai MPC live stream. And this is a special session, it's a special edition. Now, I announced last week on the Padbank podcast that I'm now opening up the beat review segment. So basically, I'm not only reviewing submissions for the Padbank Flip It Challenge, but I'm just opening it up to anyone who wants to get any feedback on their beats. So this is the first session. So what I've had, 1 second, let me just sort this out here. There we go. I've had a request from a Padbank member and a follower of the Padbank sessions here on the live stream on YouTube. My man Sedi said. So big shout out to Sedi. He's sent through some beats for review. So I'm gonna honor that and I'm gonna play some of those beats and just give him some feedback. Now, as you know, here at the Padbank, I'm all about constructive criticism. It's not about, trying to down people or gas people up or anything like that. It's just straight feedback. I hear the beats and it's like whatever I feel is what I feedback. So Sedi has sent through 2 for review, but he's also sent a link to his SoundCloud, so we could go through and listen to some more. So let's just get straight into it. If you haven't already done so, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. If you are interested in getting your beats reviewed, then make sure to send your beats through. I'll put a link in the description, or you can just come over and join the Padbank and just submit your beats for review. So yeah, man, no long thing. Let's get straight into it.
I made it. Produced, I cooked up.
So like I said, it's a live beat review. This is my man Sedi Said, and he sent through this track for review. So let's check it out. Shout out Sedi. All right, so let me just bring this back and have the background. So just to say as well, all of these, well, at least this submission is one of the Flip It Challenge submissions. And one thing to keep in mind with the Flip It Challenge is you're not selecting the beat, the sample. So sometimes, it can throw you off a little bit when the sample selection is not something that you would have chosen. So just keep that in mind. This is not a bad beat. one thing that stands out, and I've noticed this with a lot of my feedback, it's almost like the first thing I focus on is the mix. And it's interesting because even as a producer myself, I don't spend that much time on the mix. I kind of mix as I go along. And it's only like when I think to myself, yeah man, I'm going to do something with this track. I might get an artist on it or look to do something with it. That's when I think about the mix, like the final mix. But I always try to mix as I go along. So again, it's not bad. Alright, so again, my feedback is going to be based on personal preference as well, so keep that in mind. I'm not trying to be, I ain't Quincy Jones. But yeah, personally, I would pull the drums down a little bit. And I've noticed that with production in our era, I say our era, us bigger men who are producing, a lot of us come from an era where the drums were all up front, banging in your face, where, and I've recognised this lately for myself, when I listen to, like if you go on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever and listen to like something that's out now, even from a producer from our era, listen to the mix and it's like the drums are kind of tamed down. You know what I mean? That crash there, I would pull that down slightly. So my approach really is I try to lose instruments in the mix. It's almost like how quiet can I get it and you can still hear it, it's still clear, it's still very much there in the mix, but it's not all up in the forefront. But again, the caveat to that is every track has its own character. So it's not a sweeping statement, but definitely I would bring that crash down. And then the 808 as well, the 808 bass. If I was to turn this up, you can hear that just, it needs to come down a little bit, man. The other thing as well I would say is play around with your drum sounds. Like, don't commit to a drum sound. So your hats, your snares, your kicks. There's times where I'll make a beat and I'll just spend time switching out the snares just to see what really works. And previously I wasn't that bothered. So like previously I just wanted to capture the vibe, so I didn't really care too much about the snare. It was just boom, let's just get into it, chop it up, just get something down and capture the vibe. But always in the back of my mind it was like, this snare might get changed later down the line. Again, it's not a bad beat. So if you're watching this, obviously you're watching this because you'd heard me say if you're watching this. You know what, it's crazy how much things we say that are redundant. So if you're watching this, of course you're watching this, or else you won't hear me say if you're watching this. You can tell I've been sat out in the sun, drinking wine with my family. Alright, so in the comments, let me hear your feedback. So this is Real Steady said, Pad Bank, Flip It Challenge 220. Give him some feedback. Again, he's reached out and he says, yo, give me some feedback on my tracks, man. Some honest, constructive feedback. That's what we're all about here. It's all about constructive. We want to help the community improve, their craft. We're not here to chant anyone down, belittle anyone. Do you get me? Really not about that. The other thing I would say as well is with the drum programming, there's a part where it's coming up in a minute. Two of the kicks sound like they're misplaced. And I blame the quantize. You can hear like, it's meant to be like a skip, a little skippy drum. But the quantize kind of, there we go, that one there, and this one. That one there, sounds a little bit robotic. Bring it back, there we go, that one there. Here we go. So, you see like with that, don't be scared to go back into your MPC or whatever it is you're using and just nudge them slightly. That's what I found I do a lot as well, is I'll put down a drum pattern and then I'll spend time just nudging things just to kind of make it sound natural. You know what I mean? Yes, I like quantize, I do like quantize. And I do quantize quite a lot. But I will move things. You know what I mean? I'll nudge things to the left or to the right to make it sound more natural. So that's something else as well. But yeah, man. Big up yourself, brother. So that's the first one he submitted for review. Big up yourself there. And then the other one was Padbank 208. So let's go back here. Let's draw this one up. 1 second here. Here we go. All right, here we go.
The pad bang.
You got yourself Sedi. That was nice. Let's pull that back. Let's pull that back. So yeah, I just noticed Sedi said's in the stream. Big up yourself, my brother. I appreciate you joining, man. So yeah, man, you're gonna get some live feedback now. So this one, I like this. I like it a lot. So my feedback on this will probably be very similar to the previous one. You know what? If Rob Russ was here, Rob Russ would have a big smile on his face because he knows exactly what I'm gonna say. Why? Rob Russ, you just caused trouble, man. What am I gonna say? The classic Mr. Brown feedback. That's right. Just pull them hats down in the mix a little bit, man. I would pull the hats down. Again, like I said, man, You see, for me, I like to lose my sounds. And the reason I like to do that, I want it to sound as authentic as the record. Like, that's my aim. You know what I mean? Everyone's got their own sound. Everyone's got their own preference when it comes to mixing, when it comes to the sound they're trying to create. And for me, I like it when someone can put a track together and it just sounds as authentic as the record they sampled. So like with this now, I would pull those hats right down. I would probably run the whole kit through, like in MPC, I would use a resample plugin just to filter out that cleanness. You hear how the hats and the snare are very clean, very crisp. With this type of sample, if you listen to the sample, it's like an old... Listen to that sound, man. Jeez, that's hard. So when that comes in now, to me, it sounds a little bit too clean on top of that sample. So I would run that through like a resampler in the MPC, or just through a low pass filter, just to make it sound a little bit more crunchy. Not too much. Like what I do, I'd put it through a compressor first and foremost. So get my drums on a track, put it through a compressor. From the compressor, I would then add either the resample or a low pass filter just to get some of that crispness off it. And then I would put it through an EQ, and I would add some tops, some treble back into it, so it doesn't sound too muffled, if that makes sense. Again, I would pull down the drums as far as I could, and then just push them back up in the mix slightly. Just to balance everything out. And again, even as I'm giving you feedback here, I said I'm learning all this for myself now. So even like the current projects I'm working on, what I've realized is when I put an artist on the track, I've got to surrender myself as the producer, because naturally it's like I'm listening to the beat and I want the beat to be the forefront. Where the last track I just recorded, I had to pull everything down just to give the artist the space they needed, you know what I mean? So I had to consciously say, you know what, I need to make the beat lower in the mix and bring the vocals higher in the mix. And this is another tip as well, is like, you see, like with this volume now, listen, I'm gonna touch it up. I learned this ages ago. Just touch it up until it kicks in. So if you listen, okay, boom, I can hear it now. And if you listen, the first thing you can hear really is the hi-hats and the snare. So to me, that's saying it's too loud. You know what I mean? So I learned that early in my production career when I went to the studio and was working with the engineer for the first time, and he pulled everything down and he just touched it up slightly until he could hear it. And he was like, what's the first thing you can hear? And if you listen, boom, there you go. And really, it's the hi-hats. The hi-hats are probably the loudest thing in the mix. So pull them down, man. Or the low pass filter or the resampler might help with that as well. But this is a nice beat, man. You know what I'd like to hear as well? You see like them the toms, listen. You see that roll? If somehow you could replay that, so find some instruments that match that drum fill and replay that in the mix, in the sequence. So like say here now at the end of this segment, If you could drop that there, that'd be nice, man. That'd be a nice transition. And here as well. Yeah, man, that would kill it. What I'd say, Sidi, it's clear you know what you're doing, man. Okay, yeah, you use some elsewhere. Okay. Okay, yeah, I hear it. I hear you, brother. That's nice, man. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, my brother. Big up yourself. All right. So those are the two you sent through. Let's just have a browse through your SoundCloud. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we can find. So yeah, man. Again, if you want your beats reviewed, send them through, man. I'm gonna post a link where you can send them through for submission, and I'll be happy to give you some feedback. Again, for myself, you know what I mean, I love to hear people feedback on my tracks, good or bad. You know what I mean, we all want to improve, and I understand how valuable constructive feedback from someone else in the game is. And to me, that's what the Pad Bank is all about. That's why I started the Pad Bank. I ain't no big time producer. I'm no big time engineer, but just to have peer-to-peer feedback is so valuable. You know what I mean? Because there's times where we're in isolation, we're just in our studio, just doing our thing. Oftentimes, you know, like I said, just in isolation. So just to hear some constructive feedback, or for someone to say, yeah, man, I like that, or nah, change up this, or do you get me? That's how we improve, man. So, all right, Sid, listen, I'm going to take liberties and I'm going to do a lucky dip. So I'm going to draw for this one, Pad Bank 219. Let's see what this one's saying. Okay, I remember this sample. I remember this one. Very minimal. In terms of the sample that was submitted, there wasn't really much to work with. This one was quite challenging, actually.
The Pad Bank.
Okay, so you hear that now, Sid. Based on previous feedback, you can hear now how the hats, listen. Them hats probably need to come down, man. Let me tell you this, yo. You know a track that I think is perfectly mixed, and a track that I look to. It's not even a hip hop track. Yeah, there's a track by Alicia Keys called Diary. Listen to that track on your headphones, in your car, and in your studio, and listen to the mix on that track, man. When I say that track, the mix on that track is impeccable. Absolutely impeccable. And there's a lot going on. It's quite minimal, yeah? Yeah, man. Same here, said. We was talking about it today in the garden, so I was chilling in the garden. Obviously, the weather's nice here. We were out just enjoying the weather. And we're talking about if you could only pick one track per artist for your playlist, what track would you pick? And we're going through different artists, so we're naming different artists: Michael Jackson, Bob Marley, you know, Alicia Keys, whoever else. Yeah. My daughter says to me, Nas, which Nas track would you pick? And I was like, that's an easy one, man. New York State of Mind. But yeah, for Alicia Keys, for me, the track I would pick would be, for Alicia Keys, Diary. The mix on that is impeccable. Just listen to how everything, it's like the instruments are hidden. Do you get what I'm saying? And they just come in and then disappear and then come in again and disappear. There's an organ in the background, yeah? There's like this very light organ in the background, and the way it just sneaks in, it sneaks up on you. To me, that's the sound I want to get. Not with every track, but like my more sort of musical type tracks. That's the sound I'm looking for. So yeah, you can hear with this one said, the hats, let's get them down. Let's lose them in the mix. All right, let's see what Drake's saying. Let's see what Drake's saying here. Okay. Okay. So they said the bass was off on that one. Yeah, I get ya. On the 219 one. Yeah, reference tracks as well. That's something that I am really just seeing the benefits of now. So, for me, in terms of mixing, yeah, I do a lot of my mixing I do the bulk of my mixing in Logic. So I'll produce a track in the MPC, and obviously I'll mix and balance things out and do a bit of compression in the MPC, and then I'll bounce it all over into Logic. Once it's in Logic and I know, okay, I'm going to do something with this track, I will find a reference track that is in the same vein as the track I'm working on, and I'll just have that on its own track inside of Logic, and I'll just use that to refer to, because the thing is, your ears get accustomed to your track. And then you pull up the reference and you think, rah. It kind of resets your ears. And that's definitely been useful, man, in terms of, balancing things out and seeing, okay, I really like this track. I like the mix on this track. Where is the kick sitting? So when I'm listening to it on my monitors, it's like, okay, I can hear the kick sitting there. Let me try and get mine around that same place. You know what I mean? And obviously, for me, I'm conscious I'm never going to get it exactly the same as that, because the track I'm listening to has probably been mixed and mastered by a multi-platinum award-winning engineer. You know what I mean? And I'm just here in my little studio with my little monitors on Logic. You get me? I'm trying to get it as close to what I'm hearing, but it's just good for reference. So yeah, man, can't really say much more than that. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a long one. It's not going to be a full episode, just some feedback. Again, if you want your tracks reviewing, hit me up, just hit me up in the comments for now. I am going to post a link somewhere where you can submit all your details and upload your tracks for review. I kind of halfway sorted it out, but kind of just been a bit busy. But yeah, definitely shout out to Sedi, man. I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate the request for feedback. You know what I mean? What else we got here? Let's do one more. So again, Sedi's live in the stream here. Is there one specific one you'd want me to look at on here? I could probably go back. I remember this Coltrane one. I think I entered this one myself. Flip It 200. That was when we done the prize for that one. So I remember this. You got some comments on there as well. Yo, quick question. You know when these people post on SoundCloud saying, "Hey, love your beat. Post over here and get some free," like this one here. These bloody spam commenters. Bullet Rank has free play offer right now. Like, really? Does anyone really respond to those? I wonder if I've much success with those, because I know if I was to go to my notifications here, I'd have a ton from them people there, and I don't pay no mind to them at all. All right, so let's do a lucky dip. Let's go for an older one. Let's go for 206. Let's do this one. Oh, I remember this sample. I remember this Flip It challenge.
The Pad Bank.
I can't remember who won this, but this one was tough. Again with this, if I was you, said it, I would revisit this beat and I'll try it with like some different snares. Oh, love that part there. Love that part. Yeah, this is hard. You know the other thing as well? This is, again, something we've got to keep in mind. You see, once you link up with the artist who gets you as a producer, because as producers, we review each other's music and we listen to each other's music, and we get to the point where it's like we're making beats for other producers, knowing that they're gonna analyze it like, yo, okay, what's he done there with that sequence? How's he chopped that up? How's he placed that? What kind of transition is he gonna make? So we're thinking about other producers when producing. Two things I want to say. That's one of them. Where an MC would hear this and say, yo, I'm gonna murder that. They just get it. They get the vibe. They get the idea. They would come on this and they could make it a smash. The other thing I'm going to say is, again, when we're making the beats and we don't have an in-house artist that we're working with, or someone that, you know what I'm saying, we work with on a regular basis, we can easily overproduce the tracks. And that's something that, if you go back and listen to the last episode that I put out with Killer Tame and Lola, sorry, I keep calling him Lola. That's one thing Killer Tame said. It's the first time he's really worked with a rapper, and he was saying he had to learn to underproduce the beats. Like, don't fill it up so much, because Lola's gonna go in there and do his thing. And that's something that I'm learning now. So as it stands at the moment, I'm working on a project and I've got artists coming through and recording, and I'm realizing, right, I need to drop all of this out the track. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I'm making it here, it's like I'm just loading it up. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, just keep building it up. But then by the time the artist comes on there, there's no space for them. So it's like I'm seeing, okay, boom, drop that out. And actually, yo, drop that out as well. You know what? In fact, take everything out and just leave it as clean as possible. Let him do his thing, or let them do their thing. And then it gets to a point where, boom, they finish what they're doing. Then you can bring the rest of it back in, or you can use each of those elements like individually. Do you get what I'm saying? So have like your baseline. When I say baseline, just your raw kind of sketch of the beat, and then, you know what I mean, bring another element in, and then get rid of it, and then bring another element in later on, get rid of that. Where for me, it was like I was layering and layering and layering, so everything, it just sounded full, to the point where there was no space left for the artist. That's what I'm saying. I'll leave it there. You get what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, Sid, big up yourself, man. I hope that was useful. I really hope that was useful. Okay, yeah. So Sedi's basically said that's how he started approaching his beats because he used to rap. Okay, yeah, that's it, man. Sometimes it's too much. Less is more. That's definitely the rule. Less is more, man. Because the other thing as well is, like I said, you can scatter it throughout the arrangement. So it might be that you start with everything and then just pull it all out and get rid of it. And then, you know what I mean, as the MC is doing their thing, probably like 8 bars in, you sneak a little bit back in and then you get rid of it again. And then 16 bars down the line, you might bring another element in. You get me? And then just move that again. So it's like it's full, but it's distributed throughout the track. That's kind of the vision I have. Do you get what I'm saying? Where before, for me, it was like I was just layering. I'd have like a 16-bar loop or a 32-bar loop. And it's like all or nothing. Do you get what I'm saying? It comes in, boom, and everything's playing. And then there's an extra piece that comes in for the hook or for the chorus. And then, boom, everything drops out. Where it's like, now I'm getting to the point where it's like, you know what? We might start with everything, but then, boom, everything's gone. And I'm just sneaking a little guitar riff in, and then that's gone again. And then that piece that I probably would have laid over that, I'll bring that in further down the line. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just evenly distributed throughout the track. So then that way the listener's like, raw, there's always something new happening in the track. So yeah. There's a drum and bass producer that I reference a lot. He's a veteran and he's from my hometown. His name's Goldie. And I've studied Goldie's craft for many, many, many years. I grew up around him. And there was one thing he said, and I was like, that is genius. Like, you see, when he arranges his tracks, he will take out the whiteboard or the flip chart and a pen, and he will draw the timeline of the track. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's in the studio with his engineer, and he visualizes the arrangement. Do you get what I'm saying? It's almost like he's scoring like a movie. He will kind of storyboard it to say, boom, so this part here, I want it to go like this. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, boom. And he'll use different colours because he's a graffiti artist as well. So obviously his approach to making music is visual. But, you know what I mean? He actually draws it out on a flip chart or on a whiteboard. And he will say, boom, I want the intro starting here. And then, wham, we're taking them up here. And then from there, I want it to come down and I want it kind of like a blue kind of style. You know what I mean? And just that whole approach to it made me approach music arrangement differently. Do you get what I'm saying? He was looking at it like a movie director. Like, you ever watched a movie and the intro of the movie is like, it's just action immediately from off the bat. It's action orientated. And you're just like, raw, like, what the heck just happened here? And then from that, you're just intrigued in the movie. Do you get what I'm saying? Where other movies, you're sitting and you're thinking, what is going on here, man? Like, it might be a slow burner, but you're still intrigued. Do you get what I'm saying? That was his thing. He was like, he's visualizing how the journey is taking a listener on. And I was like, boom, that's genius. That's genius, that is. You know what I mean? Approaching your arrangements like a movie director. What's the journey I'm taking the listener on? Now, obviously, drum and bass is a different genre, but there's a lot we can learn or glean from that approach. You know what I mean? So hopefully, again, that's valuable for you. So yeah, man, big up yourselves. Sedi, salute my brother. Nothing but love, man. Nothing but love. Listen. Family, bro. Definitely Padbank family. So while I'm here, I might as well review the Flip It Challenge for this week. So let's just go back. Actually, let's jump into the group here. So yeah, man, I ain't done one of these for a while. It's been a minute. It's definitely been a minute since I've reviewed these beats. And you know what? It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is. There's seasons for everything. There's time for everything. And sometimes we ain't got time for everything. You know what I mean? I ain't making no excuses. I've just been busy. Sometimes I'm not inspired. Sometimes I want to jump in and, you know, do things. There's other times where I'm just not inspired, man. I'm just like, you know, we're all human, man. We're all human. So, right, let me find what I'm looking for. Yeah, shout out to Coswas. He won last week, so that's the one we're going to review. So let's jump in here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go to, hold on, let me find this. There we go. There it is. 221 challenges deep. Big up to the Pad Bank community. I appreciate you, man. Now, what I've noticed is since I've stopped doing the live reviews, the number of entries are slipping. So what that says to me is that people value getting their beats reviewed live on the podcast. They value it because, again, once I stopped doing it, the number of entries declined. So hopefully this will inspire more people to just get back on it. All right, so this was 221. So this was last week's challenge. Let's have a quick look here just to make sure. Yeah, so we're up to, I think we're up to 222 now. Let's have a look. We're up to 223. So, all right, hold on. Let's find 222. Where are we? Here we go. What's this one? 222. Let's do this. All right. Let's do this. Here we go. So first up, we've got Dano Bravo Beats. This is Flip It Challenge 222. Let's do it.
The Pad Bank.
Soft people cling to their entire life. Every need taken care of, except one. Purpose. World out there is one of
Right,
plenty.
starting that again.
Fat, soft people cling to their entire
start that
life.
again.
Every need taken
The
care of,
Pad Bank.
except one. Purpose.
Right, so that's Dano Bravo Beats.
Fat, soft
Yeah, Dano don't play, man.
their entire life.
You don't play games.
Every need taken care of.
So I believe Dano actually won.
One.
He did actually. He won the 200th edition, so he won the cash prize. Big up yourself, Dano. Been a long-standing member, consistent contributor to the Flip It Challenge. I like this. And again, Sedi, if you listen to his hats, like they're there they exist in the mix, but it's still very much like hidden. It's almost like the hip hop acoustic dynamics, like the soundscape has changed. Like before, it was definitely all about the drums, all up in the forefront. Wait, listen to this now.
People cling to their entire life. Every need taken care of.
That
Except
violin sample,
purpose.
like that's the main thing. So although the drums are hard and the drums are driving, that violin sample and those strings, that's the main thing. And that's the thing as well, like in terms of the mix, yeah. You know what's mad? I'm not even a mix engineer. I don't class myself as a mix engineer at all. It's crazy. But listen to this. Yeah, what I was gonna say was basically when you're listening to the track, like what's driving the track? What's driving the song? Is it the sample? Is it the drums? Is it the vocal? What is it? And let that be, you know what I mean? Let that drive. If it's the drums, then so be it. You know what I mean? And again, just a caveat, if the driving force in your track is your hi-hat sequence, let it drive. Let it drive, man. There's no rules.
Fat, soft people cling to their
So yeah, that's Dano Bravo Beats.
every need taken care of. Except one.
Big up yourself. All right, next up is my man Cuz Was. Yo, I gotta salute Cuz Was, you know. I definitely have to salute him. So Cuz, my man Wouter. I remember I bumped into Wouter through the just doing live streams, and he came on one of my live streams one time and he challenged me. He was like, yo, I like what you're doing, but let me challenge you. And he basically challenged me to do a Nautilus flip. He was like, he entered, so basically he says, I entered a beat battle before, and it was like you could only use Nautilus. So he challenged me on the channel, and it was hard, man. It was a tough challenge. And the reason I'm saying that is because I watched, if you saw Tracklib and Ninth Wonder done that recent flip challenge with Bob James with Nautilus, and the guy that won, I believe his name is Soundtrack. Yo, yeah, the Tracklib one, said he. Listen, did you see the winner? The guy that won it. Let me pull him up. Am I gonna find him on here? 1 second here. Let me see if I can find him. So his name was Soundtrack. Let's see his Instagram. Listen, the guy made me want to quit producing. It was just like, wow. Soundtrack. I think this is him. Is this him? Yeah, this is him. Yo, listen, have you ever heard a producer and you're just like, whew, wow. Okay. Yeah, Royce is doing at the moment. Where's this Nautilus one? My man right here. Flipping heck. Hold on. Let's see if this is it. This was something else.
This was crazy, man. This was crazy. Been listening and listening and listening and listening to these, to the jams, man. And it was hard. It was so many good ones. I want to say before I announce the winners, you didn't win, your name is not called. It does not mean it was not good. That's not the case. We have a runner-up and we have a winner.
Oh, let's see if he plays it.
First runner-up is
Hold
a
on.
man by the name of
I don't want to get copyright strikes.
Got Beats.
You know what
I don't know what this young man
YouTube's
is
like.
from, but let me tell you something real. Deli got beat.
All right, that's the runner-up.
Snoop, listen, man, you sound good on that. You'll sound good on that, Snoop. Snoop, man, I'm gonna get a
No, that's the runner-up. Hold on, let's see if this
Winner.
is the winner. This is it.
Battle.
This
The flipping of the flip.
when I heard this, I was like, flipping heck.
Soundtrack.
This was ridiculous. Here we go. Not one is losing it. Whoa. Listen. Crazy.
Hey, man, listen.
Yo, I don't want to hear what Ninth Wonder wants to say because all I know, when I heard that, I was like, wow. Because Nautilus is one of those joints where it's like, it's almost like what has been done has been done. Like, what else can you do with it? And then I heard that, I was like, yo, my man took it elsewhere. All I would say, go to his Instagram page, but just be aware, like, the level. It's levels. Like, I heard it, and yesterday, I came to my studio, so I heard this on either Friday night, I think it was Friday night, yeah? Yesterday, I came in my studio, I turned everything on, and I was like, what the heck am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? And I sat here, and I went through some drums, and I built a new drum kit, like a drum program, and I started messing with some drums, and it was just like, I sat here and I just thought, just when you thought you're making progress, you hear something like that, and it's just like, wow, the levels are so much higher. And what's mad is, like, it can have two effects. What it made me do was I just turned off everything and I walked away. I just walked away from a studio in a sense of I just need to be away from it for a little bit. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's very easy to just fall into like a pattern of normality. You know what I mean? And you just start basically making the same old. I had to just walk away from it and just say, you know what, let's just leave it alone for a bit. Just leave it alone. Go and listen to some music. Go and enjoy outside. Go and yeah, you're right. Said it is bang on. So he says, I remember one live you did, and you asked if producers should touch samples that have already been hits. This just made me change my answer. Yeah, definitely. Like Nautilus, really, I think after, so obviously you had Onyx touched it, Run DMC touched it, and obviously Reza with Daytona just kind of closed the book. Like, that's it now, it's done. Leave it alone now. Don't touch it again. My man's come and just done bits with it. So yeah, man, like I said, go and check out Soundtrack. Go and follow him on Instagram. If you want to be inspired to take your production game to another level, just watch a few of his beats on here, man. Like, he's next level, man, and he's good at putting out content. You can tell he's a content creator. I actually think he's a live drummer. I don't know much about him. Like I said, I only came across him on Friday or Saturday. He sounds like he would be a live drummer, like he can play drums, and he can probably do finger drumming as well. But yeah, it's definitely top top tier. Like what he's doing as a producer is your worst nightmare. You're just like, flipping heck, man. Like, come on, bro. Leave something for the rest of us. Leave something for the rest of us. So yeah, man, be inspired, be encouraged, be careful. You know what I mean? Don't let it discourage you too much. You know what I mean? We're all striving for our own sound. For me, I'm very competitive. Do you get what I'm saying? In the sense of I'll hear something, even like when I was DJing, there's times where I was DJing and I was the best DJ in my city. No one was better than me on the hip hop thing. Do you get me? And then I went to Birmingham and it was like, okay, I was bumping into other DJs who were, you know what I mean, like on par. And then some of them were a bit better. And it was like, boom, I'm going back home and I'm practicing and I'm going back there and I'm smashing the place to bits. And it was like the more I increased my borders, the more I had to get better because, you know, I'd go out of town again. I'd start going to London, start going to Sheffield, start going to other cities and coming across DJs who were as good and sometimes better than I was at the time. And then when we got the internet and it was like, boom, okay, now I'm seeing DJs from all over the world. It was just like, whoa, okay, it's time to step it up. And there's always someone out there who's going to force your hand in terms of making you step your game up. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't shy from it. You know, don't shy from it, man. So yeah, that's just some you know, some encouragement. Let's get back into this. Where were we? He wasn't 21, he was 22. Yeah. But yeah, check him out, man. So anyway, I say all that. I kind of just went totally off track with that. Cuz was, let's check him out. So again, Cuz was the one who challenged me with the Nautilus. And the beat I made was, compared to that, it was trash. You know what I mean? What I heard my man do with Nautilus just, my flip was terrible. Like, it was absolute trash. So yeah. Anyway, let's go. Cuz was Flip It Challenge 222. Let's do it.
The Pad Bank.
This is Cuz was. My brother from Belgium. I think he's from Belgium. I'm sure he is. If you're listening, Cuz, let me know where you're from. That's my man Cuz was. Big up yourself, my brother. Again, I like it. I need to revisit the sample. I need to go back and revisit the sample. It's definitely a strings, kind of a classical sample by the sounds of it. Let's see. Oh, can't find it. All right, but yeah, man, big up yourself, cuz. What I would say with this, I definitely like the movements in the sequence. It's very organic. It doesn't sound like just, you know, you just looped something up. I like the movement in it. Definitely vibe out to this, man. I definitely like the vibe. Yeah, man. Shout out, cuz was. Ain't really got much else to say about that. I like it. Alright, next up is my man Rob to the Russ. My broski.
Mom, there's something out there. It's in the tool shed. They threw the ball at me.
We got to a few words to build. I got something.
The Pad Bank. The Pad Bank.
Alright, it's my broski Rob Russ. If you haven't checked out the Rob Russ interview on the Padbank podcast, make sure you check that out. We have a good laugh on that one. Again, Rob Russ, long-standing member of the Padbank community, consistent contributor to the Flip It Challenge. Yeah, definitely got that West Coast vibe, said he said. Definitely. You know who I could hear on this? Just as you said that. Raskas. I don't know if you guys have checked out the latest, I think it's a Four Horsemen project. I like what them guys are doing on there, man. Yeah, it's got like an eerie vibe to it, hasn't it? I can hear Raskas doing his thing on this. So yeah, man, that's my brother Rob Russ. Big up yourself. And just to say as well, as always, if you're enjoying this, make sure to go and check out these guys on their SoundCloud and just show them some love, man. You know what I mean? They're putting in the work, you know, and just, yeah, man, go and show them some love. All right, next up is my man Richard Tarrin, and this is his entry to the Flip It Challenge 222.
Pad Bank.
All right, it's my man Richard Tarrin. Big up yourself, my brother. You know one thing I like about Richard's entries? Richard ain't into no hype, you know. He's not into no, you know what I mean? If you meet him and you speak to him, his beats reflect his character. He's not into no hype. You know what I mean? He just gives you what it is. This is what it is. And he raps as well. So if you haven't checked him out, go and check him out. He raps as well. So that's my man Richard Tarrin. Big up yourself, my bro. Always appreciate your entries. This to me is a straight, thorough hip hop beat. I could definitely hear Richard blessing this with a verse, definitely. It's a good old straightforward hip hop beat. Love it. So yeah, man, those are the entries for the Flip It Challenge 222. And the winner for this challenge was... I ain't got a drum roll, hold on.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, none of those will do.
The Pad Bank.
We'll have to just run with that. The winner was Dano Bravo Beats. So he was the winner for this challenge.
Fat, soft people cling to their entire life.
So big up yourself, Dano.
Except
You have noticed with Dano, he'll disappear for a bit, you know.
purpose.
He'll hold it down, and then boom, he'll come back in. He'll drop something like this, and then he's gone again. He coming like Melon Dunk. Melon will disappear, come back, drop a smash, win, and then disappear again. I love it, man.
The Pad Bank.
So yeah. Challenge 223 is already up and running. If you haven't already entered, the submissions close tomorrow. Midnight tomorrow, Monday, the 14th. So there's still time to bang something out real quick and submit your entries if you haven't already done so. So go over to the padbank.com or just come and join the Padbank group on Facebook. And just a quick announcement. We are going to be moving from Facebook very, very soon. We've already made arrangements for the move. We just need to make the commitment and pull the plug. So when you hear it happens, don't say I didn't warn you. I was going to announce it last week on the podcast, but I thought, nah, let me hold it down a little bit. But yeah, we're going to be moving from Facebook, man. Been planning it for a long time. So more news on that once we're ready to make the move. I don't know why I'm procrastinating on it. But like I said, if you haven't already entered, 223 is live as we speak. Go over to the padbank.com, join the community, grab the sample, and get involved. So big up to everyone who entered. Big up yourself, Dano Bravo, for the win. Big up Said for submitting for the beat review. If you want your beats reviewed live on the live stream, on the podcast, hit me up either in the comments here or just go to the padbank.com. I'm sure there's a contact me page on there. You can send them that way until I make the submission form available. If you're in the group, just post them in the group. and just say, yo, review these for me, man. Happy to do that. I have got a form, but again, you know what? I'm just not. I don't know what it is, man. I'm non-committal. It's like I've made the form, yeah. And because I haven't pasted it anyway, I need to make the page. That's what I need to do. I need to make the page. thepadbank.com/something like my beats or something like that. And just post the form there and just submit it. The same way we did for the Challenge 200, you know, and you had to go to the certain page, upload, fill out your details and that. Like, I've created the form, I just haven't created the page yet. I'll get it done, man. Just, yo, got a lot going on, man. Got a lot going on. So, yeah.
The Pad Bank.
Big up yourself, as always. I really appreciate you guys engaging. Definitely more of a light-hearted episode. I actually didn't even plan to do a full episode. I was just going to come on, review, said his beats, and then I was going to duck out and go back in the garden with the family. But the sun's gone down now. Just reviewed the Flip It challenges for this week. So yeah, man, everything's organic. That's how we're doing it. So again, if you followed me this far, I appreciate you. Stay locked in, and I'll see you again on another episode. All the best. God bless. Take care.
Produced, I cooked up.